like you. Let's be together. Haley didn't answer Dong-Gyeong directly. Instead, she subconsciously looked up at Kwon's room. What Haley didn't know was that Kwon, worried about her, braved the high fever and the pouring rain to pick her up from the library. But when he saw Dong-Gyeong with Haley, he came to a halt. From then on, Kwon viewed Dong-Gyeong as a rival when he saw Dong-Gyeong playing on the court and Haley cheering from the stands. Kwon's desire to win surged instantly. He ignored his 39-degree fever. He aimed to compete fiercely against Dong-Gyeong. Seeing Kwon emerge, Haley worriedly came down from the stands. Kwon finally collapsed from fatigue. He hit the doorframe and fainted. When he woke up, he was already in the infirmary. He felt too ashamed to look, remembering how he acted. Haley scolded him for being reckless. Kwon suddenly sat up and seriously told Haley to meet him at the park tonight at 10 p.m. He had something key to share with Haley. After making the promise, Haley was distracted at home. Today also happened to be his mom's birthday. Haley felt even more torn about seeing Kwon. It was time to give gifts. Haley discovered that the gift that gave mom was not the sheet music but a scarf. That means the sheet music that bought was for someone else. 2 months piano class. Her sixth sense told her that maybe the sheet music was for that teacher. Haley came to the piano classroom with the suspicion. Sure enough, she saw the female teacher holding that sheet music. That was making coffee for the teacher. Seeing this, Haley felt incredibly conflicted. She ran all the way to the park, but she stopped just before reaching Kwon. She knew exactly what Kwon wanted to say to her. That day, Dong-Gyeong told her his feelings. She turned him down, fearing for Kwon's safety. But now she can't accept Kwon either. She had already grown fond of Dong-Gyeong. Both Kwon and Dong-Gyeong have special feelings for her. No matter who she chooses, it will hurt the other. So she silently left the park in the end. It wasn't until Monday morning that Kwon saw Haley. Haley's bite, which had been broken for 3 years, was suddenly fixed. Kwon felt a bit let down. They didn't plan to go to school together anymore. Haley didn't answer. She directly opened up the issue. She knew what Kwon wanted to tell her that night, but she couldn't give Kwon the answer he wanted, so Kwon didn't need to pretend not to know. Do you really like that guy? Kwon believed Haley's silence was an affirmation. He grudgingly asked Haley when. Thought it was because I fell from a height. That's when my heart felt something. So I kept denying that feeling. But I couldn't deceive myself. That answer completely crushed Jacob's hopes. From then on, he kept his distance from Helen. At school, he pretended not to know Helen. At home, he never opened the window again. And he no longer rang the bell until one day before the exam, the bell finally rang. You didn't open the window even once this summer. Jacob just sent Helen her shop practice on a bus drive. In the end, he told Helen not to choose something for her family's sake if she didn't like doing it. If you force yourself to do something you don't like, you might persist for a couple of years, but not your whole life. Disliking something is just that. That's something you can't change. Hey! Are you really not looking at me again? I don't want to see you again. Time flew by and the exam was over. Helen didn't choose education as her major, but decided to repeat a year in Seoul. As she was leaving, she glanced at the quiet room across. She thought Jacob would never care about her again. However, when she arrived at the station, Jack had been waiting for her a bit. Long time no see, Harriet. It's been such a long time. How have you been? Not well. I act like I don't know you daily. How could I be doing fine? Jack apologizes for neglecting Harriet during this time because he didn't know what to say to Harriet, and he didn't know if certain things could be done with Harriet, so he could only pretend not to know Harriet. Even so, a final greeting must always be said. In the end, he stepped up to hug Harriet. This hug doesn't mean an end, because back when they watched a movie together, Harriet once said she prefers hugs over kissing because a warm hug makes her feel like the story isn't over. She always felt they could reunite again,